In the modern epoch, scientific inquiry and technological innovation has emerged as the foremost engines of national advancement, economic competitiveness, and social transformation. The unprecedented velocity with which the global community is embracing research-driven paradigm has fundamentally altered the matrix of prosperity and power. The erstwhile reliance on natural resources, geographical advantage, or even military strength has been increasingly supplanted by knowledge capital and intellectual productivity. Nations now rise or fall not merely based on the physical wealth but on their capacity to produce, harness, and apply scientific knowledge with ingenuity and strategic forecast. Nepal, a country replete with ecological diversity, cultural richness, and untapped intellectual resources, remains unconspicuously absent from the transformative global narrative. While many countries, both developing and developed, have embedded research and technology into the very fabric of their national identities. Nepal continued to operate on the fringe of mm, scientific modernity. The contribution of Nepali institutions and individuals to global global scientific literature remains alarmingly meager. This is not due to the intrinsic lack of talent or potential, but rather due to deep entrenched structural, institutional, and political adequacy inadequacies that has historically marginalized the pursuit of rigorous scientific research. One of the glaring impediments to research in Nepal is the chronic underinvestment in research and development. Years after year, national budgets allocate only tokenistic sums for scientific initiative, and even those allocations often remain unutilized or mismanaged due to the bureaucratic inertia and lack of strategic priori- priori- prioritization. Research remained largely confined with the theoretical realms of academia, isolated from public policy, industrial application, or grassroots development initiative. Furthermore, the absence of autonomous research council, inadequate laboratory facilities, lack of access to international journals and databases, and the threat of competitive grant mechanism have further exacerbated this stagnation. Equally concerning is the absence of long-term national vision that recognizes research not as an auxiliary pursuit but as a cornerstone of national development. In successful economies, research institutions function not merely as academic enclaves but as epicenters of societal innovation and problem solving. Their research agendas are intricately aligned with national priorities, be it food security, climate resilience, digital transformation, or health equity. Nepal, however, has yet to conceptualize research as an strategic asset. The state has failed to institu- institutionalize a culture of inquiry and innovation within its educational and governance structure. Nevertheless, it would be remiss to suggest that Nepal is entirely devoid of scientific potential or achievements. Scattered across the globe are thousands of Nepali scientists, engineers, and academicians who are making significant contributions to the national, international science and technology. Their expertise, if harnessed through well-coordinated diasporic engagement program, could play a transformative role in revitalizing Nepal's research ecosystem. Additionally, Nepal's unique topographical and biological features offer unparalleled opportunities for cutting-edge research in areas such as high-altitude machines, biodiversity conservation, renewable energy, in ethnobotany, glaciology, and disaster risk reduction. The COVID-19 pandemic served as a great reminder of the centrality of science in confronting existential challenges. Countries that have invested in robust public research system, biotechnology, and epidemiology were well equipped to respond swiftly and effectively. Nepal, on the other hand, struggled with the data collection, vaccine distribution, and the healthcare logistics. This crisis should serve as a catalytic turning point for Nepal to fundamentally rethink its approach to science and research. The nation must transition from reactive, donor-dependent research agendas to proactive, nationally driven innovative framework. To this end, several strategic intervention are necessary. First, the establishment of an autonomous, well-resourced national research council that can coordinate, fund, and monitor research activities across disciplines is indispensable. Such a body should operate with transparency, meritocracy, and international practice at its core. Second, the government must foster public-private partnership that incentivize industrial research and create linkages between universities and industries. This could enable the commercialization of innovations and the generation of employment through research intensive expert enterprises. Moreover, capacity building must be prioritized at all levels of the education system. Research methodology, scientific ethics, and data literacy should be integral to the school and university curricula. Faculty development program, sabbatical opportunities, and international collaboration must be expanded to ensure that Nepal's researchers remain globally competitive. Scholarship, fellowship, and more postdoctorate funding mechanisms are vital to preventing the brain drain that apparently afflicts Nepal's academic and scientific community. Beyond institutional reform, a shift in societal mindset is equally essential. Research must be destigmatized as an elitist or foreign enterprise and instead celebrated as a national imperative. Science communications, popularization of research finding, and integration of local system can foster public trust and engagement. Policymakers should be sensitized to the value of evidence-based governments where policies are informed by robust data and rigorous analysis rather than political expediency or populist rhetoric. rhetoric Rhetoric. It is equally crucial that Nepal's research in Nepal not only confined to academic journal and conferences but must yield tangible concept-specific solution to the nation's development challenge, whether in devising sustainable agricultural practice, mitigating the impact of climate change, or improvising public health delivery. Research must be purpose-driven and inclusive. Only then it serves as vehicle for social transformation and economic empowerment. In long arc of history, a nation that has invested in their scientific institution and protected the autonomy of their thinker and innovators have eventually secured a dignified place in the global order. As we move further into the era dominated by artificial intelligence, quantum computing, genomics, and space exploration, Nepal cannot afford to be a passive observer. To remain relevant, we must become creators, not mere consumers of education, of knowledge. To conclude, the future of Nepal in future of research in Nepal hinges not solely on infrastructure or funding, but on visionary leadership and collective reawakening of our national conscience. We must recognize that quest for knowledge is not luxury for the affluent but a necessary for any society aspiring through dignity, resilience, and progress. It is through sustained intellectual inquiry, scientific integrity, and strategic innovation that Nepal shall chart its path toward a self reliant and enlightened future.